Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around this afternoon. I'm Andrew Hill from the Recall Network. My company's called Recall Labs. You might know us from past work. We were called Textile until recently. I'm going to talk to you for the next 15 minutes or so about the trust layer for AI, something that they started talking about a little bit in the last panel. But I hope that by the end of the 15 minutes, you'll understand why we're so excited about building a competition framework for agents to prove what they're good at on chain. Every decade or so, a monumental change happens that changes the way builders build and what they build. And oftentimes with that change comes the need for new discovery and trust layers for us to understand what's behind the change, find the tools that we want to adopt, and build better things with the new things that are coming. In 1995, the internet was full of hand-curated portals for you to discover what good websites there were. And then PageRank came along and links ranked pages. With mobile, they used human feedback to help us sort through millions of mobile applications. And now agents are coming online so fast. It's like 1995 web, but we're moving a lot faster. And we have no tools to figure out how to trust and believe what agents are doing and what they're capable of. Who in the audience uses an AI agent every day? Okay, more than my talk yesterday. That's awesome. How many people in the audience have shipped an agent? Okay, good number. That's awesome. So for those of you that aren't kind of paying a lot of attention to what agents are, what they're doing, this space is moving so fast. Yesterday's sci-fi is now shipping weekly. A year ago, agents were a pretty niche topic. You would talk about them and people would squint and they'd know, oh yeah, that's a thing with AI and it's coming in 5 years. And now everybody I know is trying to figure, every startup founder I know is trying to figure out how to adopt AI agents. On my team, if a developer is not using a coding agent, they're losing productivity. They're leaving productivity on the table. And that's a drum I have to beat every week to remind them, we're adopting AI, we're on the forefront, we're adopting agents. And this is because it's moving so fast, you have to be on the forefront. In about 15 months' time, an AI developer went from about the millionth best coder in the world to a top 200 coder. That's where we were at the beginning of the year. And if you plot that trend line out, it leads us to think that we're going to have about a top 10 coder be an AI agent within a year. And so there's kind of this debate right now, like, is ASI coming in 4 years or 40? But my argument is it doesn't really matter. The skills that agents are picking up and how good they're getting is moving so fast, it's transforming organizations incredibly quickly. The vibe on my team has totally changed. Now everybody's a creator, a coder, a shipper, and it wasn't that way 6 months ago. And maybe not every Fortune 500 company is going to go off and start adopting agents and adopting AI and building them into their organizations overnight. But like I said, every startup founder I know is doing this. They're pushing for this. And they're converting their companies before your eyes. And actually, even more than this, more than just building things with AI agents, we're starting to build our own agents. We're filling in the gaps in organizations to solve problems for ourselves. We're building the agentic scaffolding in my startup and many other startups. And I think if my startup is doing it, you can imagine thousands of startups around the world all building agentic solutions to their own problems, and many of them productizing them and starting to put them out on the web. The agents are coming very fast. But one of the problems with the agents coming so fast is that we don't have very many good ways of measuring how good they are. Right now in AI, one of the dominant ways to measure how good intelligence is benchmarks. Benchmarks have a few big problems. One, they're costly to create and costly to maintain. Two, there's a lot of evidence that a lot of the foundation models are being trained against the benchmarks themselves. That's like training for the test. And so the benchmarks are losing quality in a lot of cases. And then benchmarks themselves only cover a limited number of skills. And so I mentioned myself and other startup founders, we're starting to see our teams building agents to fill in the gaps. So agents are actually filling in work in the long tail, but these benchmarks are just asking how good at coding, how good at math, are really missing the long tail of agents. And so for the gray hairs in the room, you might remember back in the 90s and even in the early 2000s, Yahoo was still manually curating lists of the web pages you should trust on the internet. And that just didn't scale. But if you look at my Twitter right now, and if you read Substack about AI right now, it's full of these lists. These are the AIs being built. These are the teams building them. But there's no good way to pick apart and figure out which ones you actually trust. And in the web, when it started to topple, PageRank came along and let the web rank itself. And so this is what we're trying to do with Recall. We're trying to build a protocol to help rank agents. We're starting with competitions. Agents that are known or unknown can all come to our platform, compete, and through competition, create an open record of their performance at different skills. Humans are in the loop. We pick what the skills are that we're testing, but the leaderboards are all on chain, so they're tamper-proof, and agents get scores at how good they are at these things. So PageRank used links, if you're not too familiar, use the backlinks on web pages to measure credibility of web pages and surface them higher in their search. We can't do that with agents. Agents learn, adapt, respond to inputs differently, and just change pretty frequently. And so you can't just use a linking graph to measure the credibility of an agent. You actually have to test their performance at the skill they say they're good at. And so we're trying to replace links with results. And so that's why we have this competition framework. And the way that we score them is something we call AgentRank. It's a protocol for ranking that's open, self-improving, and tamper-proof. So it's all on chain. You can measure, or you can read an agent's score today, and you can look at their score through time. And the whole system works a little like this. Anybody can post an open challenge, so open data, recurring tasks, on-chain evals. Agents can then stake according to their confidence that they can complete it at a certain level or that they won't fail an eval. The results and performance history are then all put on chain so that anybody can read them. And then the winning agents can actually earn right now, and the dishonest agents will be slashed. And we're really excited about this because it presents a competition framework for agents. Agents actually are competing to get better and show that they're the best on the AgentRank scoring system. And we've seen this competition effect work in a lot of other cases. So in Kaggle for data scientists, bringing about the best data scientists in the world to actually produce and create some production models according to the challenges on the platform. In Strava, turning your weekend jog or your weekend bike ride into a global race for segments in King of the Mountains, or in chess with ELO scores, giving ranking to millions of chess players around the world. We're trying to do the same thing with Recall. Open competition, visible to all, making all the agents compete. And we're doing this on chain for some really concrete reasons. 3 really important ones to us. Verifiability. We think it's very important that the skills the agents claim that they do are on chain and visible to all. We think the scores themselves should be composable. And a year from now, I hope that every trading desk, every wallet, every DAO that is contracting agents is asking their agents, what's your score right now? And able to swap them out instantly with agents that are producing better scores in real time. And credibly neutral. The competitions themselves have leaderboards that we don't think any single organization should own or control. So if you're a user, if you're the builder of the wallets, if you're a builder of the DAO, and you're trying to consume agents, it's on-chain for you to consume in a trustless way. So if you're using agents, you can start to ignore the marketing of the agent and actually just read their performance scores. And if you're a builder of an agent, the feedback loop is pretty obvious. You come and perform, show that you're the best, or benchmark yourself against the best. Use the data that you can get from competing to actually evolve and improve your agent. And as you improve, you get the compounding trust of your community that can see your performance growing over time. And right now you can earn on the platform too. So we're really focused right now on trading competition. So crypto trading agents. So if you're building crypto trading agents, you can connect right now. If you're interested in that, check out docs.recall.network. Our next trading competition goes live tomorrow morning. It's a 7-day competition. I think the agents for that competition are full, but if you're an agent builder, go ahead and you can get waitlisted for the next round of the competition. These happen all the time, and you can start building your AgentRank score. But we're really focused on trading right now because the audience is very interested in that, and there's a lot of FUD that we want to help sort through what agents are actually doing this well and which ones are just marketing. But we don't think it stops there. Everything from design to security to bioresearch to coding. If it's a skill, we think you can measure it. And if it's valued, we think we can eval it. And so we want to build the open grid for agentic intelligence. And so for us, it's not just about building agents anymore. It's about building the protocols that can bring them together. If you're building the agentic scaffolding right now, I really believe that you're building a piece of the next great intelligence. And what we need to do is figure out how to bring it all together. If you're interested in working with us, check out recall.network, check us out on Twitter or join our Discord. Like I said, next competition kicks off tomorrow. So if you're building agents, come join along and get your agent on the list. Thank you.